assault rifle just coming out, and you can see there on the side of the bus. I don't think that was there before. Those bullet holes coming right through the side of the vehicle. Clearly, those are the bullets. Perhaps those who are more familiar with weaponry could figure out pretty easily that appears to be from some kind of assault rifle. But again, returning to the situation, Roland Mendoza, 55, former police officer, hijacked this bus. But Rachel, I wonder, as you're watching this, if you can recall the tipping points, because you did say that negotiations were in progress. They seemed to be making some progress, and then suddenly everything just turned around. What was the tipping point?
Well, it seemed that things were going relatively smoothly until night fell. And it's at that point that the gunman was speaking to Live Philippines local radio and had said that he had seen this police specialist team, this SWAT team, moving into position. And at that point, he knew that, as he put it, the police forces were prepared to kill him, and that therefore he was also prepared to kill his hostages. A little time later, he told Live Radio that he had killed 2 of those hostages. Impossible for anybody else to verify that, but gunshots had been heard from inside the vehicle. It is at that point, it seems, that the police decided they had to act, despite entreaties earlier in the day from Chinese authorities not to move in. They felt they had no option. They surrounded the bus. They were trying to smash the bus. One other key moment just before they did that was that the driver of this vehicle managed to escape out of the window, ran towards reporters on the ground, he was saying he has opened fire and he has killed everybody on the bus. Everybody is dead. Now, again, impossible to verify, impossible for us to be able to say that with absolute certainty, but it is that kind of report, I think, that has spurred the police into action, feeling that they had no option left.
Adam, just looking again at some of the images we have on screen, those holes clearly, from an assault weapon of some sort coming from inside the bus, it appears. It would suggest that the gunman may still be alive.
Yes, I mean, again, like you, Conrad, I'm not very well versed in semi-automatic weaponry, but that looks like gunshots fired by a semi-automatic weapon. Whether from inside or outside the bus, I think it's probably hard for me to tell, but clearly the police tactics have now altered. I mean, a moment ago, as you said, in the last hour, that this drama has really stepped up a gear. The police were crouched very close to the vehicle. Now, at the moment, we've got a rather tight shot of where those gunshots were made within the last couple of minutes or so. But when the shot pulls out a bit wider, we'll see that it's quite a lot of those police officers have now pulled back. So clearly, the security forces there feel under a greater sense of threat than they did half an hour ago or so. So, I mean, these are, very nervous moments when you're even on a highly trained assault team. Very nervous moments, but because you don't know exactly what the status is inside the bus. The curtains of the bus have been drawn. Hard to tell what's going on inside, but clearly a heightened level of threat to those police officers who are trying to bring this to an end.
Rachel, it's been going on an hour now since the police tried to get inside the vehicle. It seems as though they've been trying different strategies, and now they seem to be having some kind of a rethink, because from what we can see, not much seems to be happening.
No, and it's strange that they were smashing in those windows, trying to force their way through the front door and then the back hatch, but didn't appear at that stage to have come under fire. But then when one of the officers physically was climbing inside the vehicle, then it seems that there were more gunshots fired. Now, we do know, and we should repeat, that the man who is holding these hostage inside, who commandeered this bus earlier in the day, is himself a former senior police officer and is presumably well trained not just in the use of firearms but also in police tactics. He maybe knew what to expect, and of course the police moving in will also be aware of that. So there is a good deal of caution, I think, going on, particularly now that they think that that gunman is not only still inside and presumably alive if he's firing a weapon, but he is now firing at them.
Rachel Harvey in Bangkok, many thanks. We'll be checking up with Rachel later in the day. Still here in the London studios with Adam Minotaur, our World Affairs correspondent. Adam, it's not too clear what is going on now because the camera angle keeps changing. We heard some shots of automatic fire earlier on. It's not too clear. We can see a lot of people crowded around, some kind of vehicle. I'm not too sure whether it is the bus, but earlier on we did hear that gunfire. We don't know anything about the status of the gunman himself. We don't know anything about the 15 hostages who are still on board. But right now it seems as though the police are having a rethink of their strategy. Earlier on they tried to smash through. You can see the broken windows at the front, the smashed glass at the side, and then right next to it, perhaps in that second window, the holes made by semi-automatic gunfire. As you can see, there's pretty much no one from the security services around the vehicle. It seems like it's pouring. The rain is coming down heavily in Manila, and at this point it's still unclear exactly what is happening. Earlier on we saw a number of people gathered around a certain area, perhaps just the police reorganizing themselves, but it's been quite a dramatic day and definitely a dramatic hour.
And if you go back 20 minutes, half an hour ago, the vehicle which we can see now in full was surrounded by police officers. There were police officers standing, not wearing protective clothing at the front of the vehicle. There were others crouched towards the back. Now we've all switched now to a different shot. I'm not entirely clear what this is a picture of. In fact, we may well now have lost the TV pictures. We're getting back some other live ones. We're relying for these pictures, as indeed is the whole world, on pictures that are being fed live, effectively live. There is a slight delay of 10 seconds or so on these shots of an extraordinary drama unfolding in the center of the Philippine capital, Manila. As I said a moment or two ago, not far from the police office, the main police headquarters in the city. This started many hours ago in daylight. Negotiations were apparently going on with the hostage taker, with the gunman, a former police officer, as you said. It's only after dark that things have taken on a much more sinister aspect. Shots have been fired. The police have tried to gain access to the vehicle. It appeared they started with this door here at the front. They then moved along towards the back of the vehicle, and as you can see now, whether these are live pictures.
No, these are images from a bit earlier on. The assault actually started just roughly about an hour ago. These are some pictures from earlier on when the police were trying to get inside that vehicle. I mean, they tried, different strategies. They were using at some point what seemed to be some kind of a sledgehammer to kind of smash that front door. At some point, they tied a rope, some kind of a cord, to try and pull it open. It all proved to be unsuccessful. Rolando Mendoza, decorated police officer, still inside there with the hostages. Again, reminding anyone who's joining us just now, these are not live images. The drama is still going on as we speak. These are pictures from within the past hour when the assault on this bus started on. If you are just joining us, just bring you up to speed on what we know. It occurred a few hours ago. There were negotiations taking place between the authorities and the hostage taker, Rolando Mendoza, 55, a decorated police officer who lost his job, appealed, basically wanted to get his job back, and he was unsuccessful in doing so, so he took people hostage. Earlier on, he let a few people out, some children and an elderly individual. We also heard that the bus driver managed to escape and told some reporters that he has killed a number of people on board. But as we stand right now, what we know is that the crisis is still in its full throes. The police have been unsuccessful in getting into that bus. They managed to open a back door, but as we were watching, as they tried to get through that back door, we heard some gunshots, and they beat a quick retreat. And as you can see, this is still very much unresolved, and we do not know the fate of the 15 on board. They are tourists from Hong Kong. There are reports that the Chinese government urged the SWAT teams, the Manila security teams, not to storm the bus, but as night fell and reports came in that the gunman had fired some shots from inside the bus, obviously, the police decided to make a move, and so far it's just unclear. We're seeing the same thing that everyone else is seeing, and watching this drama unfold.
And it's probably important to make the point that these are now not live pictures. We were getting effectively live pictures, but they were cut a short while ago. Possibly, who knows, possibly the police intervened and decided to bring an end to the live international coverage of this unfolding hostage drama. These are pictures taken a short while ago. What we saw most recently live was clearly some gunfire, automatic gunfire, aimed at the side of the vehicle. Just to the left of that broken window you can see now, some automatic gunfire fired through the window. Now it's not clear to me, I don't know whether you were able to tell, Conrad, whether that shooting came from in or outside the bus, but I think what it did underline is that the threat to those who are trying to bring this hostage drama to an end was still very much live.
Yeah, that's right. Again, reminding our viewers that these are not the live images. We are doing what we can to bring you the live images out of Manila, but what we do know right now, the last we saw before these images, which are, of course, within the past hour, so it really does bring you up to speed on what's been happening within the past hour. The police have been trying to storm this bus where the hostage taker, Rolando Mendoza, a police officer, has held a number of people for several hours. You can now see those